What do you really want to make of your life, and how do you decide? Hi, I'm Coach Dave. I'm an independent Optavia coach, Optavia, and I've been helping people safely lose weight physically and mentally for over 10 years. So how do you figure out what you want to do with your life? Most of us got to be adult-sized, figured out how to make money and pay our bills, and thought we'd arrived. But then fast forward a few years and we realize that we're adrift in our own lives. Maybe our job isn't as fulfilling as we'd hoped, or maybe our bank account isn't as full as we'd maybe dreamed. Maybe our social situation, family and friends, feels like it's lacking somehow. Or maybe it's our own sense of well-being. Sometimes it's hard to put your finger on it, but you just know that something's off somewhere. The process I'm going to cover can be applied to any of these areas, but for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to apply it to weight loss and wellness because that's what I do. So we're going to do two things here. First, we're going to talk about the story of two futures. And second, we'll talk about making a quality decision. So let's start with the first of the two futures, the desired future. And again, we're going to be using wellness as a framework for this exercise. So maybe you'd like to lose some fat or gain some muscle, broadly speaking. Maybe you want to make some specific changes to your body composition. Or maybe you want to pursue athletics, where there are specific metrics particular to your sport of choice that you want to focus on. Me, I'm into cycling and mountain biking, and there is all kinds of language around training volume and intensity and functional threshold power and watts per kilogram. It's nerdy, but it gives me something to focus on and track, and generally speaking, that which is tracked usually tends to improve. As you consider your options, use the following question to formulate your answer. Ready? If we were to sit down 12 months from now and you were to look back over that year, what has to have happened during that time for you to feel happy about your progress? You might want to rewind that one and write it down. Whatever it is, it's important to be as clear as possible. Clarity is key here, and it's important to write it down. Until your desired future has been excavated from the echo chamber of your imagination and scratched out the tip of a pencil onto a notepad, it's intangible, it's not real. Take the time to write it down, and I do mean write it down. Pencil, notepad, get it on paper. Now let's talk about your default future. Your default future is the future that you are living into right now, and you will continue to live into if you remain in your old habits. You keep living the way you've been living, and you keep doing things the way you've been doing them until this moment. If you swipe off this video and change nothing about the way you live your life, what does that future look like? Think back. If you've been gaining 10 pounds a year for the last 5 years, will you be satisfied if you continue to gain 10 pounds a year for the next 5 years? Or perhaps you're already on what you consider to be a positive trajectory in your pursuit, but you want to fine-tune your performance, expand your capabilities, and just overall take yourself to the next level. In that case, the gap between the desired future and the default future might not be as much as you think. In any case, it's important to illuminate and articulate, put into words, as much as you can about both of these futures, the desired future and the default future, so that you can see and feel the difference between them. Why? Because our decision-making faculties, while they are guided by reason and logic, they are fueled by our emotions. In order to make a quality decision, you have to be able to feel the weight of the difference between those two futures. So now that you've done that, now that you can see and feel both futures and the difference between them, let's talk about deciding between the two. And here's the thing about the word decide. A decision is actually different than a choice. When you choose something, you're not necessarily eliminating the possibility of going back on that choice. But when you decide, you are making a choice and eliminating the possibility of going back. Decide literally means to cut or kill off all other options. So how do you know that you're ready to make that decision, to cut off competing options, burn the ships, so to speak, and implement change? We're going to use 3 scales: the readiness scale, the gravity scale, and the confidence scale. So on a scale of 1 to 10, ask yourself, how ready am I to make a change? 1 out of 10 means you are not ready at all to make any changes. 5 out of 10 means you're almost ready to make changes. And 10 out of 10 means Katie bar the doors. This is happening. Next, on a scale of 1 to 10, ask yourself, how important is this change to me? 1 out of 10 means it's trivial and not important to you personally. 5 out of 10 means it's on your radar, but it's still not a priority. And 10 out of 10 means it's mission critical. And third, on a scale of 1 to 10, ask yourself, how confident am I that I will succeed? 1 out of 10 means you really don't think you're going to reach your goal. 5 out of 10 is like, 50-50. But 10 out of 10 is absolute certainty. When you jot down your answers, if any of them is a 7 out of 10 or less, you're not ready. Sorry. If any of your answers are less than 8 out of 10, then you need to take some time to reflect and consider what it's going to take to move the needle in your head and in your heart so that you can make a quality decision and implement meaningful, lasting change. I had one client, when I asked him these questions, he told me straight up, look, this is happening with or without you. I am not thinking about making changes. I am making changes and I will accomplish my goals. He was 10 out of 10 across the board, and he's gone on to accomplish amazing things even beyond the goals that he set out when we first met. At the end of the day, the way that we live our lives produces the results that become our lives. If we are dissatisfied with the results, we have to go upstream, examine the way, take responsibility, and decide to grow into the one that we need to become in order to live the way we need to live to have that future that we really desire. I hope this is helpful. This is the kind of thing that I work on with my clients. If working with me on your health goals is something you'd like to explore, go to my website, mycoachdave.net, and click Explore.